Now, they told us that Vietnam was going to be very different from the United States of America, except for all the beer cans and the barbecue. It was.
You must be my FNGs.
Morning, sir.
Oh, get your hands down. Do not salute me. There are goddamn snipers all around this area who'd love to grease an officer. I'm Lieutenant Dan Taylor. Welcome to Fort Platoon. What's wrong with your lip?
I was born with big gums, sir.
Yeah, well, you better tuck that in. Gonna get that caught on a tripwire. Where are you boys from in the world?
Alabama, sir.
You twins?
No, we are not relations, sir.
Stick with me.
Lieutenant Dan sure knew his stuff. I felt real lucky he was my lieutenant. He was from a long, great military tradition. Somebody in his family had fought and died in every single American war.
God damn it, kick some ass.
Good morning, Lieutenant.
Another reported sighting dating back to the 60s and the conflict in Vietnam. Serving troops told the story of when out on patrol in the tropical jungles, one night they kept seeing fleeting glimpses of something stalking them. Fearing it to be an enemy ambush, that night as they hunkered down for the evening, a group of soldiers were sent out to investigate, capture or kill the suspected enemy whom were following the platoon. Tracking their suspected Vietnamese enemy, this group found themselves in front of a cave. This was, however, no ordinary cave. It was in a sheer cliff wall with what looked like a boulder rolled across the entrance, blocking it. They continued to investigate, feeling they may have the enemy trapped as they drew close. They were overcome by the smell of death. So, taking up defensive positions, something strange then began to occur. A rumbling sound began to emanate from what felt like below the ground. It was then a man-like beast made its way out of the cave. The figure rose up, standing at a height of around 7 feet. This is when the men could clearly see this was no man. The torso resembled a man, with a head, chest and arms, but the body was more like that of a snake. Covered in scales and wearing long robes and a strange hat, the creature began hissing loudly, and this is when more of the lizard or snake-like men were spotted. In fear, the men began to unload on these creatures. In a scene reminiscent of the movie Predator, the jungle erupted in gunfire, with vegetation flying everywhere. When the men had emptied their weapons, they went to see what they had hit, and again, just like in the movie, they hit nothing.
No blood, no bodies. We hit nothing.
They guessed the creatures had returned to the cave, so they rigged some charges and blew the entrance, then making their way back to base camp. Once again, these reported creatures may have a basis in truth or at least legend, as the Naga are reptilian-type cryptids commonly mentioned in local folklore and legend. Could this be the creature these servicemen stumbled upon? Is it that war attracts such beasts? Or could it be that, in times of war, we are pushed into areas people rarely explore, and stumble across creatures mostly hidden from human history? Could these sightings be hallucinations brought on by the stresses of combat? If we find these things in times of war, should we not make more of an effort to seek them out in times of peace?